Wow, this Kirby and the Forgotten Land looks very different to the trailers. Just kidding, Nintendo will never give Kirby a gun. Never mind, but this is a fan game. The name explains it all, a game made by a fan. Fan games are more in the grey area of gaming. Most of the time, they are a formal expression of love for a particular franchise. They can also be a way to explore different approaches that the original developers would never do. But in the worst scenario, fan games can be seen as an attack to copyright. And this last point is the most scary, because depending on the company that owns the franchise, they can shut down any fan game they want. And sadly, one of those companies is Nintendo. Nintendo has a very long history of shutting down fan projects that they consider to be a threat to their products. This mostly affects fan remakes, but because it has happened in the past, people are afraid of getting the classic Nintendo cease and desist, which means that there aren't that many quality fan games of Nintendo franchise. And that includes Kirby too. Just like the modding community, Kirby has a small amount of quality fan games, while there are many low quality, low effort or just straight up bad fan games out there that I can just point and laugh at. That's not my mission. I like showcasing the great efforts of the community, exploring the history, talking about what makes each of one unique. And I think I have found enough fan games that meet that criteria. So today, let's look at a great bunch of Kirby fan games. With that said, Kirby with gun! Whoa, that's hilarious! Oh my god! Whoa! Oh my god! He has a gun! Look at him! Whoa! He has a... What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. This is Kirbys Rampage by Some Games. Again, sorry if I mispronounced any name in this video or any word for that matter. What you see is what you get. Kirby with gun. And surprisingly, the creator of this game took that basic concept and expanded on creative ways. Of course, you have your normal guns like a pistol, an AK-47, a rocket launcher, things like that. But there are also various other fun guns like the axe from Mario, the sword from Zelda, and more. The reason for this is that this game takes Kirby in an adventure through various Nintendo games like Zelda and Mario. At first it sounded like another haha funny Kirby with gun game, but after actually playing it, it's pretty fun. And again, just like last time, every game you see here will be in the description below to the download page of their respective fan game. So give this one a try if you want some Kirby shooting action. Although this boss is completely invincible, it teleports randomly, it shoots bullets from random spots, and no, they don't shoot from where Ganon is, trust me. And finally, every time you die, you begin from the beginning and have to get the key again to attempt this boss. Just no. On a more positive note, this game got a sequel. This is Kirbys Rampage Act 2 by Bubble. This time, Kirby got a gun. This seems familiar. Yeah, it's basically the same game. It has better UI at least. But to be fair, it's just a demo 1 level, so maybe in the future we can see what this sequel truly has in store. Moving on, we have Kirbys Shadow by Matthew Garcia. The gimmick of this game is that Kirby can't get abilities, rather this little fella that the game calls Kirbys Shadow gets the ability itself. What difference does it make? Not much, really. Okay, I'm being a little bit hard. The game does take advantage of this by positioning Kirby and his shadow in specific ways to do puzzles or for combat. But aside from those little instances, it's a pretty standard and fun Kirby game. Give it a try if you want. But if you want something more traditional, might I recommend Kirby's Dream Land Advance by Galaxamy. This is a complete remake of the original Kirby's Dream Land with 16-bit GBA graphics, just like Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, but for the original. And if you told me there was a GBA remake of Kirby's Dream Land and showed me this, I would have told you that you are lying because I know everything there is to know about Kirby, no one can defeat me. But if you told any other person, they would have probably believed you. It has everything. The enemies, the bosses, the weird power-ups, the level design. This truly feels like the remake we never got. At the end of the day, it's still Kirby's Dreamland, and it doesn't have extra mode yet, so it's still Kirby's "this game is 30 minutes" Dreamland. But it does have Flappy Bird. But what if you don't want Kirby's Dream Land again? Well, too bad! This is Kirby's Dream Land Plus by BluePopo, a sequel/remake/reimagining/completely new game of Kirby's Dream Land, this time with GUI! In this game, you can explore new and familiar levels from the Kirby series. There is the classic Green, Grassland, Bubbly Clouds, Icicle Island, and Asteroid Field, each with their own little animations at the start. And don't let those Game Boy graphics fool you, Kirby has all his usual abilities. He can run, slide, and even copy abilities. And speaking of abilities, we have a new one in the form of Mantle. It sucks. It can't kill enemies, only flips them, but who cares? This game has an amazing soundtrack full of 8-bit version of classic Kirby songs. And look at that! A hoverboard just like in Kirby Clash. It even has a little minigame with this robot Kirby from Planet Robobot. The game is still in demo form and so far it only has one boss. But looking at the features of this fun game, this looks really promising. The extras, the new abilities, the minigames, the level design, GUI, everything in this game has so much potential to grow into an amazing game. But if the Kirby Dream Land Plus team is listening, please put a health bar on the bosses. Wispy takes like 10 million hits and have no idea when it will end. And speaking of promising demos, this is Kirby Gamble Galaxy Stories by MegaStrimp. This fan game attempts to make a pure new Kirby game. No drastic gameplay change, no remake, just a new Kirby game with new gimmicks, new abilities, new levels, new story, new characters, and much more. It really feels like a lost Kirby game for the DS. But let's talk about that story. One day, while being in Wispy Woods, normal everyday Kirby activities, Kirby encounters this little fella called Gamble. This little car tells Kirby that they need to stop a space pirate that has the ability to control this power car Flux. Or something like that. I don't like long dialogue in my Kirby games, but no matter! Because this game is good! I don't really have many things to say, honestly. It's just good. The game looks good, plays good, the bosses are super fun, the new abilities are kinda cool. I like how they are a different take on already established abilities. Not only is this a unique concept, but it's also a great way to include the story into the gameplay. The actual abilities in the other hand... I like Mystic Beam. With it, you can make a shield of little balls of energy which you can launch at any time. There is that, and then there is Mystic Fire. To be honest, I have no idea how it works. It shoots these little fireballs, but they seem random and most times they go straight down. Which is a shame because aside from those two abilities, the only other abilities are Normal Beam, Normal Fire, Cutter and Bomb. To be fair, this is only a short demo with 4 levels, but let's not worry. From what we can see in some recent trailers, is that this game will only get better and better. But why wait for Kirby fan games when you can just make them? This is Kirby Dream Crafter by Silt. Think Mario Maker, but for Kirby. With this, you can finally make all the Kirby levels of your dreams, with plenty of options from different Kirby games. You have your normal terrain, your objects, your backgrounds, and of course, your enemies. And don't let that Kirby's Adventure look fool you, this game has enemies and abilities from all over the Kirby series, from classics like Needle, to old favorites like Yo-Yo, to even newer abilities like Whip. There are a lot of abilities available to explore and make levels with, but what if you're not very creative? Well, this is the part of the video where I talk about the online component and how there is an endless amount of levels to try, and while that is true to an extent, sadly, this is not as easy as Mario Maker. To share your levels with others, you need to save your levels as a PNG that contains the data of that level. When you have the data ready, you can play that level in the Play menu. It's kinda annoying, but at least it's better than nothing. Maybe in the future this game will have the same success as Mario Maker or another fun game called Mega Man Maker. And actually, it's funny that I mentioned Mega Man, because next up is Kirby Warrior RPG Buster, or KWRPG Buster for short, made by Kirby Warrior. This is a Mega Man inspired Kirby fan game, but wait, but? Angel? Kabugu? Is that Goku? Who are these guys? Well, it seems I have some explaining to do. Long time ago, there was this very popular site in the Kirby community called Kirby Rainbow Resort. It contains an insane amount of Kirby fan content, from fan art to fan movies to fan games. And it's no wonder, this site has been up since 1999. To put that into perspective, the newest Kirby game at that time was Kirby Star Stalker. That's insane! But moving on, the site had a very popular forum section, where Kirby fans started making their own Kirby OCs with their own lore and stuff. From this, user Kirby Warrior, at the age of 11, made a game about his original characters in RPG Maker 95. That game later released on 2001 as Kirby Warrior's role-playing game. Wow, really unique. I would show me playing this game, but it's so old that only computers with Windows 95 or Windows XP can play it. I can only show screenshots from this Kirby Warrior RPG site that contains a lot of information about this little community. But going back to the story, Kirby Warrior RPG was loved by basically everyone in Kirby Rainbow Resort, so much that it became its own franchise with things like comics and more games. But sadly, the internet was moving at a very fast pace. Websites with information about certain franchises became wikis. Fan art was easier to post and see in places like DeviantArt and Tumblr. OCs were considered cringe. And finally, forums were becoming obsolete with websites like Facebook and Twitter. And so, Kirby's Rainbow Resort and to an extent the Kirby Warrior franchise just fade back to fond memories of simpler times. Or at least that was until 2021, where the Kirby Warrior community bonded one more time to make KWRPG Buster. The actual game is just a Mega Man fan game with a Kirby skin on it. With that description, you can basically already know if you will like this game or not. But as a huge Mega Man fan, this game is amazing! Most hacks or fan games on Mega Man just try to be the hardest thing in the universe. But this is perfect! Not too easy and not too hard, great enemy placement, fun gimmicks, outstanding level design. If you like classic Mega Man, give this one a try. And if you don't like classic Mega Man, the fact that this game was made 20 years after the original Kirby Warrior RPG game just goes to show the love and passion some people have for not only Kirby, but the Kirby community as a whole. And while this game is a love letter to all Kirby OCs, if you want a game for more modern Kirby fan content, then boy do I have a game for you. This is Kirby Battle Blitz by JalenBrah and his team. This is a 2D traditional fighting game, or to be more specific, a 2D anime fighting game. For those who don't know the difference between the two, traditional fighting games have 6 main buttons and are a bit slower. Anime fighting games, on the other hand, have 3 main buttons and are way faster and flashier. But why the long explanation? Because holy shit, this game is fast and flashy. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I should probably introduce our cast first. Just like in KWRPG Buster, every character here is an original character. What makes this set of characters more unique is the fact that most, if not every fan character featured here comes from outstanding sprite animations, which only gives more personality to each one in a fighting game. But you know what? I'm tired of these many OCs. I think I need to show these kids what a real OC looks like. Introducing Super Ultra Godly Mega Amigo, or Sokma for short. He is Meta Knight's long lost brother who is really cool and has a gun. And just saying, JalenBrah, my Twitter account is on screen and my DMs are open, if you catch my drift. But unlike my original character that I just made up in 3 minutes, every character in this game feels unique while still keeping that flashy and fast gameplay. But let's talk about that gameplay. You have your light and medium attacks like most other fighting games, but you also have your EX attack, No heart attacks, strangely, but EX attacks replace them well. You also have your power charge to build meter, which you can use for special moves. You also have a counter and a grab. And finally, every character has a block and an air dash. Pretty standard stuff for most fighting games. But I don't know what it is, but it feels like every move just connects with every other move in a very simple and satisfying way. And that's not me saying that this game is brain dead. I have seen some crazy stuff with this game, and I myself have found some nasty combos in training mode. Oh yeah, the modes. You have your classic player versus player mode or player versus CPU mode, but in an interesting twist, you can choose between a 1v1, a tag team battle akin to games like Dragon Ball FighterZ or Marvel vs Capcom, or just go insane with a team battle, where everyone is on the field at the same time. But what if you are all alone? Well, don't worry, you have your classic arcade mode, a training mode, scenario mode, a really fun boss rush mode, some games like Duck Hunt and more. And if that wasn't enough, there are plans for even more modes. But if you don't care about all those modes, the base game is really fun and you can even play online. How cool is that? Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, my mains are Saito because I like their crazy air game, Bill because setting up combos with explosions will never not be fun, and Sario because he reminds me of how I still want to make a big Kingdom Hearts retrospective, but I still need to beat like 5 more games before even starting the script, and I probably need to play every game all over again for footage, and that will take an eternity, and I'm tired, and I'm confused, and scared, and sad. Yeah, this game is really good, and of any of these games in this video, I would recommend this game the most. The great level of polish, the fun gameplay, the bright future. This game has everything, and it really shows the great potential the Kirby fan game community has. That is one masterpiece, but I have saved the best for last. Okay, I know what most of you are thinking. What happened to not making fun of bad fan games? At that point, why not see any other video talking about Kirby fan games? Subscribe and dislike. And to that I say, bad luck, because YouTube disables seeing dislikes to protect smaller creators like me and totally not for big corporations. But if you wanted a serious answer, I thought the same when I saw this game. I wasn't gonna look at it until I saw this video by Meteors calling it one of the best completed Kirby fan games, and I gotta say, what the f***, this game is good? The story is stupid, the dialogue is broken English, the characters look like things I would have drawn in MS Paint, the backgrounds are all messed up, characters just straight up fly, Kirby controls like he's in ice, and yet, why do I like this game? It's complicated, but it feels nostalgic. As someone that has grown up with games like Ultimate Flash Sonic, this game takes me back to simpler times. But the difference between old fan games and this game is that this game uses those limitations for its advantage. For example, the gameplay. Kirby can't fly or slide. This seems like laziness at first, but actually, it's a design choice that lets actual platforming shine. And the level design is just straight up good stuff. Another example, the story is stupid, yeah, but god is it funny! Even the ability descriptions are funny. It really is something you have to try for yourself to understand. It may not be the best game out there, but god damn does it succeed at what it wanted to do. Another hard must play. Fan games are in a weird spot. In one hand, they can be an excellent opportunity to show your love for a franchise or to see the wacky possibilities a franchise can have. But in the other hand, the level entry for fan games is so small that when people look up fan games, the only thing they found is a bunch of garbage to make fun of. And even in the case that a good fan game catches the attention of people, instead of support, what they get is only jokes like, "Haha, nice game, Nintendo is gonna get your ass," or "the Nintendo ninjas are coming, my guy," which are not only not funny, but they only do harm by making fan game creators feel like they're doing something wrong. And the level of hate companies like Nintendo have towards their own fan creations is just sad and pathetic, and I'm tired of this. So I say, let there be no more oppression, let there be no more hate, Let's give every fan creator our support, no matter how bad, weird, or cool it may look like. With a little bit of possibility, we can change the landscape of fan games forever. That's all from me. Don't let any copyright law in the universe stop you, and I will see you on the next try. Hey, before you go, I got some small things to say. I promise it will not be long. First, I actually did 2 streams playing every fan game you saw here. So if you want even more Kirby content, there you go. But let's just say that the first stream was kind of rough. Second, sorry for the long delays. I went into a little vacation and then I had to go to the doctor and stuff like that. It was a whole mess. But hey, I did it. And finally, I just wanna say thank you for the immense support the Kirby Mods video had. I didn't even know if that video was going to get any reception, and looking at those comments, at the views, seeing all the modders being like so happy to see their things shown, it really was a like special experience. And if any video got that treatment, I'm happy that it was that one. So I hope this video does the same. And final thing, make sure to subscribe, because looking at March and April with the Kirby Forgotten Land and then the Sonic movie, there's going to be a lot of content. So yeah, that's it. Bye.